Alright guys, so I'm making this video right now just to tell you guys something a little bit about me, okay? And this is something that I feel like you should know about me because this is going to be, aside from some other reason, this is going to be a reason why there will at least be, where I make an announcement once a year, where I had to take a couple days off from YouTube, okay? And because of a medical procedure that comes along with this, I'm about to talk about. Back in 2016, uh, about 3 months before I started YouTube, I was diagnosed with a chronic disease called ulcerative colitis, okay? Okay, first of all, before I start talking more about this, I just want to say right now, if you don't like someone talking about their bowel movements on YouTube, click off this video, okay? Because that's pretty much what it's going to be talked about. Anyways, like I said, ulcerative colitis is a chronic disease, okay? Meaning that, it's not curable. It's treatable, but it's not curable, okay? And what happens in ulcerative colitis, it affects your bowels, okay? It's an inflammatory bowel disease. Uh, it affects your bowels, it affects your intestines. And what usually happens with someone with ulcerative colitis, a couple things. One, excessive gas pains, and two and three, okay? One of them, in some cases, causes sudden, unexpected bowel movements, okay? And in another case, which is my case personally, it's constipation. And with both of those, you are pretty much having a lot of rectal bleeding, okay? And yeah, that happens to me. That happens to me several times a year. Okay, that's what happens with ulcerative colitis. You pretty much you bleed while you're using the bathroom. Okay, and you see the first time I saw myself bleeding while using the restroom, uh, I kind of thought maybe it's just hemorrhoids. Okay, so I took a suppository. By the way, TMI once again for those of you who are who feel uneasy hearing about this. But anyways, that's not the point. But yeah, and I kept on repeating that process for a few more days, but then ultimately, my doctor, he told me to go through a preparation for an examination on my colon. Okay, and that is pretty much the worst part. Okay, of having this disease, it's having to have a yearly colonoscopy. Okay, and it's an examination on your colon, and doing the preparation for this, it's miserable, okay? You can't eat any solid foods, and you have to drink 2 bottles of laxatives just to clear out your bowels. And, the next day you have your examination, and they examine your colon. And the first time they did examine my colon, that's where they diagnosed me with ulcerative colitis. And ulcerative colitis is something that I deal with now for about over 3 years. Okay, this September will make it 4 years that I've dealt with this disease, and you know, it's kind of a hit or miss. Okay, it's kind of a hit or miss for me. As far as living with it goes, like mostly throughout the year, I'm fine because I'm on medication for it. But once I go a while without using medication, I then start to have flare-ups again, like how I was talking about. I end up with bloody constipation and stuff like that. Now, some people have said, that changing your diet, in some cases can help you with your symptoms, okay? And that's not true for everyone, okay? For some people who have Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis, they're almost the same thing. Almost. They're just slightly different. Uh, I've seen some people with Crohn's disease, go on a vegan diet, and that helps them. But me personally, and my doctor told me this too, I don't have to change my diet really in either way, unless I want to, just be healthier overall. But you pretty much get my point, okay? So, but I will say that I did make one change in my diet throughout this. I started eating a ton more fiber, okay? I started eating a lot more fiber, and that usually pretty much keeps me from bleeding from my rectum a lot. But anyways, yeah. I was just talking about a disease that I have that I've had for almost 4 years now. And yeah, like I said, I'm sorry if I offended anyone by talking about bowel movements, okay? But that's just part of this disease. And that this is something that I know a few of you know around, only a few of you know about me already, but some of you, a lot of you don't know already because not a lot of you have seen those particular videos I make where I had to take a couple of days off to get myself prepared for an examination. But yeah, any of you watching this have ulcerative colitis, let me know how you guys deal with it. You know, like I said, it's kind of a hit or miss for me. Sometimes it really just sucks. Preparing for an examination on my colon, it's something miserable to go through. It's painful. The laxatives I have to drink taste terrible. You get the idea. You get the idea. But yeah, I have ulcerative colitis. There's something that you guys know more about me already.